Welcome YouTube into my home. I have a wonderful recipe for you guys today. Guys, we are going to be preparing some dressing. I have my cornbread back there that I made, and I kind of crunched it up. I'm going to finish it off. And I have rosemary here. And I have my green onions and celery here. And I have onions. I have some parsley. I have some garlic. And we're going to use all that into our dressing. We're just going to make a small pan because we're going to take and we're going to stuff our pork chops. So guys, what I did is I went to the fresh market today and I bought me some pork chops. And I rinsed them off really good and soaked them, and I cut them open because we are going to put that dressing in the inside of this little hole here. But first we're going to season these pork chops up really good before we stuff our pork chops. We're going to bake them in the oven. We are going to put these pork chops into my cast iron skillet. We're going to stuff them with dressing, and we're going to bake them in the oven. 375 for 2 hours, guys. You can eat this recipe by itself, or you can make you some vegetables on the side, maybe some mashed potatoes. I think what I am going to have today is some mashed potatoes, my stuffed pork chop, and some gravy, guys. Guys, this is the first meal that I have prepared just before Easter. I was sick with that virus, guys, and I didn't have a taste. So now that I am better, this is what I got a taste for. I'm going to put this recipe together. I'm going to show you how I do it. We're going to season the pork chops up. We're going to stuff them. We're going to bake them in the oven. We're going to get right into this video, guys. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and start preparing our dressing for our stuffed pork chops. So I have my skillet getting hot here, guys. So what I am going to do is I am going to pour some chicken broth into the skillet, guys. And we're going to let that get hot. Okay, so we can make our dressing for our stuffed pork chops. Okay guys, I am going to start adding my garlic and my parsley. We're going to add that onion. And we're just going to let this cook down, guys. Now, guys, I am going to show you a little bit of the recipe. If you want to learn how I make my dressing, you're going to have to go on my channel. I don't want to make this a long video, so I'm just showing you how to start off your broth and your onions, your celery, and all your green peppers for your dressing. But I do have a couple recipes on my channel, and I would like for you to go over and look at them, guys, okay? So what I am doing here, we're going to let this cook down because we're going to take this and we're going to pour it on top of that cornbread that I made. And then we're going to stuff our pork chops and put them in the oven for about 2 hours. And we're going to make us some gravy to put on our recipe, guys. So I am going to leave our rosemary to the side because we're not going to use the rosemary until we stuff our pork chops, guys. Now, when you go in the marketplace, you want to get the thick cut pork chops for this recipe. You're gonna have to get the thick ones because the little skinny ones not quite gonna work for the recipe. So I am going to mix our dressing up. Then we're gonna come back and stuff it. We're gonna put it together, put it in the oven. Okay guys, so we have our parsley, we have our onion, green pepper, green onions, garlic, celery. So what we are going to do here is we are going to move this over, guys, and we're just going to mix this all together. And this is going to be your stuffing or your dressing for your pork chop, guys. Now make sure you mix this well, guys, okay? And we're just gonna mix this well, and then we are gonna prepare our pork chops to be stuffed and put into the oven for about 2 to 2.5 hours. So make sure you mix your recipe up really, really well, guys, okay? And because this is looking kind of dry, guys, we're going to add some more chicken broth to this recipe. Now guys, if you don't want to make the old-fashioned cornbread dressing, you can buy the one in the store in a box, and you can prepare it that way. It's whatever your taste, what you prefer. Okay guys, so we have mixed our dressing together here, and we are going to prepare our pork chops to get stuffed, and we're gonna put this into the oven, guys. Once again, guys, make sure you mix well, okay? All right, let's get right into the recipe, guys. Okay guys, we're gonna get right into the video. So we're gonna take our pork chops and we're just gonna put them in the skillet, guys. I have a little olive oil in my skillet here, so we're gonna use this skillet, guys. And then we are gonna take our seasoning, guys, and just sprinkle all over. You want your pork chops to be well seasoned, guys, okay? So we're gonna turn them over and we're gonna do the same thing on this side, okay? Then you're gonna take and open up your pork chops like this. And you're gonna take your little season. Just go in like this and season them. Season your pork chops up, guys. Okay, after you do that, guys, you are gonna take and you're gonna stuff your pork chops with some dressing, guys. Just like this. And we are gonna cook this recipe together, guys, okay? Okay, guys, I am going to get some toothpicks because we're going to kind of pin them together a little bit so they can kind of stay together while they baking, okay? Because we want all our juices in our pork chops. Okay, guys, I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what we're trying to do here. We want to stuff the pork chops with dressing, okay? Then we are going to take us a toothpick, just stick it in there so it can kind of hold together. Because you want your pork chops to cook all them juices together, guys. So we're just going to do it like this. So you got your stuffed pork chops here. And then with the other dressing, I am going to take it and I don't want to throw it away, so I'm just going to fill it in my skillet just like this. And then we're going to put this recipe in the oven, guys. We're going to take and put this recipe in the oven for about 2.5 hours and let this dressing just cook in the inside of our pork chops, just like this, okay? So now, when you're putting it together, it's going to be a little messy, but that's okay, because it's going to come out delicious, okay? So we're just going to take this dressing and just add it on in there. And then we got our stuffed pork chop here. Okay, guys, I am going to take and put this in the oven for 2.5 hours. And I am going to come back and let you see how our recipe came out. Alright, guys, I'll be back to let you see how our recipe came out. We're going to take some rosemary and just put on top of our recipe here. Just for flavor, guys, nothing else, okay? We're going to take some rosemary, just set it on top for flavor. On top of your pork chop, guys, okay? There we go. And we're just going to put this in the oven for 2.5 hours. And then I am going to come back and let you see how our recipe came out. Okay, guys, this recipe is ready to go in the oven. I'm just going to start that oven and get it to warm up. So you got your stuffed pork chops here, guys. You got your little rosemary on top of the recipe for flavor. And we got our pork chop here stuffed. We're just going to put this recipe in the oven. Now make sure you season your meat really good, guys, so you can have some flavor. Guys, you also can put some foil paper over this recipe and put it in the oven if you like, or you could use a top. It's up to you, guys.